Hey, Chris Matthew here. This is Skynet Update 3. As you see, we've got a little fancier server visibility there with Skynet. That's a Node.js server. Here on the bottom right is my command line. A couple of big updates in this release. One, tokens now are required with any device API calls. So when you create a device, Skynet will give you a secret token that needs to be used with every subsequent UUID parameter that you send to do any updates, delete a device, a registered device rather, or change any properties about a device. You need the token, security feature. I've also added WebSockets to all the APIs. So now the HTTP APIs can now all be called in real-time mode with WebSockets, which are crazy fast. I'll show you how that works. So let me show you real quickly the token. So if we do a xpost operation on http://localhost port 3000/devices, that should register a device for us, and it did. It returned a UUID for us and a token that I was mentioning. So if we try to delete this device or unregister it, let me copy this UUID here. Should say not valid, token not valid. That's just our security feature. So if we come back in here and say the data is token equals, let's copy it from here. There, boom. Now it deletes the device. So that's pretty cool. What I've also done is, do you remember our little Arduino device? What I've done here with this instance, I've added a yellow LED here, and I've also wired up the button to be WebSockets. So let me do a couple of things. Let me see if I can hold this better. I'm going to say, let's turn the yellow LED on. Oh. It would help if I was running, if I activated the board. Okay, so now we've got the board booting up. And notice I have a status call using WebSockets, the WebSocket API, and it returns the status in JSON. Skynet is online. It also authenticated in full WebSockets with the token. So now it's passing the token ID of this device to authenticate. So now let me turn on the yellow light. There, now we've got the yellow light active. If I wanted to turn off the yellow light, all I'm doing is passing it a JSON body that just says yellow off, and there we go. I can do the same thing with like the red. I can turn, let's see, the red on. I can turn the red off. And then I added this kind of cool, like just thing where I can blink them. If I said blink equals true, we've got some blinking activity on the lights, and I can turn those off. This was similar to what I demoed the last time. But what's interesting now, though, is this button is now using WebSockets instead of HTTP calls. So when we push this button, it should say device is armed with Skynet, and when we let it go, it should say device is unarmed. And you'll see it should happen instantaneously. So watch the left window here for the Skynet activity, and then watch the this top right window here for the device's output. So we hit it, and look at that. It immediately said device armed via Skynet, and it gave you the UUID and the timestamp, and the armed property is set to true, and Skynet registered it as device is armed. Now when we let it go, watch how fast. Boom. This is all WebSockets, real-time WebSockets. We've disarmed the device. Pretty cool. And then I also added event logging so that now every request that's coming in through the system is being logged as JSON documents. Every message, every device update is all being logged in the events collection. So now we can mine that, looking for events to do things with. You know what? One thing else is kind of cool. Look how little these WebSocket API calls are. So rather than doing the full HTTP, which has the overhead of the HTTP request, since we've got a persistent socket, communication socket between the device and Skynet, now it's one line of code and it's instant recognition of what's happening. And I could turn on, like check this out. If I uncomment out this sending message, what I could show you here is, like, from my testing, I could say wait 3 seconds and then send a WebSocket request to turn the yellow light on. So check this out. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to kill the device, and you see Skynet's already saw it go offline. It already set its presence to false, which is now all automatic with the WebSocket API. And when we start this up, it should wait. Oops, my bad. Hang on. I uncommented a comment. So now watch. It should wait 3 seconds and then fire up the yellow light. There it is. And that was all via just real-time WebSockets. So now we do HTTP and WebSocket calls in every API. Pretty cool. Making a lot of progress. Hope you enjoyed it.